George. Although we'll have breakfast after our session this morning. But Jesus delighted in having breakfast on the beach. Now, I am reminded that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Some people who are sitting there do not believe that, because you don't do that. But it is the most important meal of the day. It sets the engines running for the day. So today I hope you're convicted and that you will begin to take breakfast every morning. Jesus set the example in that area. So the first thing you're talking about here in breakfast on the beach, the resurrection, is the breakfast is not only the most important meal of the day, but the resurrection is the most important event of the Christian faith or calendar. There's no other religion anywhere in the world that can claim that the one that is served is alive today. You can find all their bones everywhere, wherever they were laid. Not Jesus, not Christianity. Third thing that comes out here was not only of importance, not only breakfast, which Jesus did, not only the resurrection, but Jesus wanted to send some important messages to his disciples before he left the earth. And there are three very powerful messages that Jesus conveyed to his disciples when he had, what again? Breakfast on the beach. The first one was to demonstrate his resurrection power. Firstly, to demonstrate his resurrection power. Look at verse 14. Verse 14 says, this is now the third time Jesus showed himself to his disciples after he was raised from the dead. So, Jesus actually spent 40 days with his disciples after he rose from the dead. This was a very special moment when Jesus met his disciples on the beach. And he was demonstrating that he is alive. Are you with me? Yeah. Many of them still doubted that he was alive. And Jesus made sure on that occasion, although they didn't recognize him initially, that he was alive. Now, in verse 17, not only that he's alive, talking about demonstrating his resurrection power, but that he will provide. He will provide. Now look at verse 3 again. We look at verse 3 right through verse 7. But you recognize that in verse 3 says, Simon Peter said to them, I'm going fishing. Then they said, we're going too. And they went out, and immediately they got into the boat. But that night they caught what? Nothing. They had nothing to take home to their families. They had nothing to eat. And Jesus came and said to them, could you cast the net on the correct side on the boat? And when they did, they drew in fish. The word says that there were 153, not jacks. They were large fish. Enough now to bring a smile on their faces, enough for them to take home to their families, enough for them to sell to others to have some financial gain. Jesus in essence was saying, whereas you have nothing, you caught nothing, I am the one who knows exactly where the fish are. I can provide for you anytime. It doesn't matter how lean you are. It doesn't matter what you do not have. I am the God of miracles. I know exactly where the resources are, and I can provide for you. Are you with me? Yeah. So even at that moment, when they were hopeless, and fishless, and moneyless, Jesus came and said, hi, I am alive. am alive, I can provide for you anytime and anything. Are you with me? So those of you who may be wondering whether or not this resurrected Christ has the power to provide for you, put it to rest. He knows exactly what you need today. And he can and will provide for you. Are you with me? Amen. So lesson number 1, to demonstrate his resurrection power. 1, he's alive. 2, because he's alive, he has the power and the resources to provide for you. Amen.